Really excited to be joined by, and I know he's not going to want to hear this because, like, Nick Saban will call this rat poison. My early favorite for National Coach of the Year, Lance Leipold, the head coach for the Kansas Jayhawks. 3-0 Jayhawks, 2 wins on the road, 1 against West Virginia. Last week beat the AAC favorite Houston Cougars by 18 in their own building. Coach, I said it earlier on my podcast this week. I said, you're doing God's work. You guys are doing great, man.
Well, I appreciate it, Joel. It's great to be with you. Really proud of our players, our staff, and the progress that we've made really over the past 9 months. Really, when you look at it, the timing of our hire a year ago was very difficult, but I thought the last quarter of the season, the month of November, we started to make some great strides. We were able to utilize that in the winter conditioning, spring ball through the summer, and I knew we were getting better, Joel. I just didn't know what strides, and now we've gotten off to a good start, but we got a big test coming here Saturday.
Well, and that test is like a good old-fashioned Final Four matchup. Could have been the national championship in basketball last year, but Duke lost. You know, and you always hear the jokes. A lot of the basketball quote-unquote schools are doing well this year. You and Duke in an undefeated against undefeated matchup this week. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the process, because I think. And I said this in my podcast earlier this week, Coach, I think teams and fan bases and athletic directors don't understand that you can be losing games and be getting better. It just depends on where you start. And I gave this old adage of you got to lose big sometimes in order to lose small. You got to lose small before you can win small, and you've got to win small before you can win big. Last year, yes, you guys beat Texas on the road in that great environment, and everyone made it about Texas. In our business, that's what we do. We focus on the bigger brands. Then you went out and I think it was you lost to like TCU by 3 and West Virginia by 6. Sure. But in hindsight, like you said, in the month of November, you guys were getting better. And that losing small step was important for your program, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And you made great points all the way through about the process of building a program and a team in a rebuilding situation. As we started the month of November on our Monday meeting, I started talking about, if you ever want to play in December or January, you need to play well in November. And unfortunately, we played our rival K-State and they took it to us pretty good. We had a couple guys get hurt with broken leg. We just had the air taken out of us. And I was kind of like, wow, that talk really is worth it. But then the next week, we went down to Austin 1-8, and we know that story. But I think he did a great job of hitting the high points, because to me, even though we lost, it was how we went back to work the next week and went down to Fort Worth and how we played, and then came back and finished the season that I think has made this program take the steps. And along the way, though, as you said, there's a fine line. You can't be in the moral victory business, okay? We know how we're evaluated. But like you said, there's a lot of internal steps of accountability, attention to detail, progress in other ways that you look at that are good measuring sticks that you've got to try to reinforce as you build a program that's been down as long as this one has been.
Well, I mean, it's been over a decade. You guys haven't won over 3 games since, I think, 2009, as you know. And so you knew what you were stepping into. You don't do this without quality leadership, without players playing really well in key position. Jalon Daniels, I've enjoyed watching him on tape, watching him operate the system. What type of leader is he behind the scenes?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you saying that. He's fun to watch, isn't he? And the thing about him is he's got energy, he's got charisma. You can coach him hard. He can let things slide after a mistake or a turnover. But he's really taken a hold of what we're doing offensively. We're trying to be as multiple as possible with personnel groupings, different various things in the running attack, and that's really helped open up our passing game to keep us in a balanced type format. Everybody says they want to be balanced, but I'm looking at hopefully, knock on wood, we stay consistent. We're not in third and long much, and we're doing some things. And so Andy Koldnicki, our offensive coordinator, can pretty much go anywhere on that play sheet, and it's a big one that what he wants to do. And Jalon's command of it and understanding has really been remarkable. He put the time in on his own this summer. I could walk down the hallway, not even knowing he's in the building, and there he is watching film, taking notes.
I was raised by a former Marine, and he coached high school football, and my dad would always say you treat winners like losers and losers like winners. Generally, teams that don't win, you need to pump their confidence up. Teams that are constantly winning or winning for the first time, you need to try to keep their nose to the grindstone a little bit. So what has it been like so far, 3-0, facing 3-0 Duke? What has the week of practice been like? Have the guys come back in and been prepared and as focused as what they have been in the past?
I think so. There's some things at the end of today's practice. It would be like you were out there listening and watching that I tried to reinforce again in the details, and not forgetting what got you to this point and things like that as we get closer to kickoff. But rewind a little bit to last year, and there are some things as we went through and kind of talk about our style, how we go about it as a staff, because a lot of this staff has been with me a lot of places, or the two places before, I should say, but for many years. As I tried to tell them, is that we're not going to coach the score. We're not going to coach our record. We're going to coach how we go about it. And our standard is our standard, and the expectations are the expectations. So, and in fact, kind of following up what you said, there'll be times when you win what could be a big game, it just gives you an opportunity to play in another one. And then, we're going to expect the same attention to detail and intensity, if not even a little bit more.
Coach, there's going to be speculation about open jobs out there. And I'm not going to ask you that question. One, I respect your players too much. I was a player, and they don't need that type of distraction. And I'm just going to tell you, I hope you stay, because you're building something really cool at Kansas, and I think it would be a great model for the rest of college football to realize that, listen, anybody can do it if they get the right guy and they get the right players and everyone's pulling in the right direction. Any program can go and find success. And you know what? It's been really fun watching you so far. And by the way, behind the scenes, I'm pounding the table. I want to get to Lawrence. I want Big Noon Saturday to come to Lawrence, Kansas.
Well, we do too, and we'd love to have all of you. And with your statement there, which I appreciate, I could not agree with you more. And certain jobs are meant for certain people. I've kind of been a sports junkie and a sports fan my whole life. And but if you look at Buffalo and Kansas aren't on everybody's list to throw in the resume. But I feel that these are jobs that fit for the right reason and the right challenges. And, the good Lord puts us here for a reason. And my wife and my family are extremely happy here. And as I said, we expect to be here a long time.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.